This video is brought to you and powered by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, home of the fastest payouts in the industry and a match bonus of 150% on your first three deposits for up to $2,000. Bet responsibly. What kind of heinous war crimes did Darrick Forrest commit that fans don't know about? Because after 2 games, it is very strange that safety Darrick Forrest has been a healthy scratch when you watch the play of safety Jeremy Chinn. I think other than a guy like Michael Davis, the biggest weak link on the Washington defense has been strong safety Jeremy Chinn. I know they brought him here on a 1-year prove-it $5 million contract, but he's been objectively awful for the Commanders through 2 weeks. And I don't mean to sound emergency alarm bells after 2 games, but Washington may need to make a change at the safety position. Let's talk about it. In 2 games in which our strong safety has garnered 5 tackles and a fumble recovery, has a missed tackle rate of 20%, is responsible for the majority of our coverage busts and communication gaffes, let Devin Singletary score a touchdown, and was responsible for the Malik Neighbors touchdown. What is Jeremy Chinn's role on this defense, and how soon do we need to pull back some of that leash? I need to understand it. I think fans need to understand it, and I get everybody's complaints now. I was like, give it time. They want to see the guy they handpick to be the strong safety, but after watching the first 2 weeks of the season, it looks like the only reason Jeremy Chinn is out there is because this coaching staff and the front office, they're looking to play the hits again. They're trying to find the hits again. They're still looking at the prospect that came out in 2020 with a 41-inch vertical, a 4.4 40, and was a runner-up for Rookie of the Year. They're still holding out hope that that guy exists in there because he's still young. Was he 24, 25 years old? They're holding out for that. But on the field, other than recovering a fumble, what positive has Jeremy Chinn put on tape the first 2 weeks of the season? He doesn't look explosive. He doesn't look confident, and pun intended, he doesn't look in command of the defense. Quan Martin is at least in the right place for the most part. He wraps up and takes guys down. He looks like a safety. Jeremy Chinn looks lost. He doesn't look at home yet, and he has zero playmaking ability. What Washington is missing the most on the defensive side of the ball is a fucking playmaker. A playmaker, a playmaker. Someone who can turn the ball over. Someone who can stop a big play. Someone defenses have to circle and focus on, lock in on during their game planning, because this guy could potentially change the game for us. Let's talk about Darrick Forrest, because I seen his father mad on Twitter. And usually I'm like, okay, parents are going to parent regardless. They're not going to be objective about their kids. But Darrick Forrest, let's go back to 2022. He's the only defender Washington has had in quite some time that had any propensity to force turnovers. He forced 2 fumbles and he had 4 interceptions, and they weren't just some chump-ass garbage time interceptions. They were interceptions that closed games, that swung games. Monday Night Football versus the undefeated Eagles that year. The closeout interception versus the Jags in week 1 and forced a fumble that game. Darrick Forrest is violent, he's physical, and he has the ability in his body to force turnover. So at some point, we at least need an explanation. If this guy's not out there, we need Dan Quinn and company to face the media and say he's not out there because we don't think he's good enough. He's not out there because we don't think he's healthy enough. I need some type of explanation at this point, because if the current safety and the current solution to that position is just sucking it up on Sundays, why aren't we playing Darrick Forrest? Shit, if it's not Darrick Forrest, I want to see what the kid can do. Tyler Owens, the undrafted free agent, freak of nature, 10 out of 10, perfect relative athletic score safety that made the team this year. He looks great on special teams. He flies around the field, and he actually looks like he has the ability to cover. With strong safeties, they need to be able to either hit or to be able to cover a little bit. Jeremy Chinn has not shown the ability in 2 weeks to do either. So what in the actual fuck are we doing at safety, at free safety? Is it Percy Butler? Is he the answer? Even though I feel like he has more free safety ability than strong safety. Is it Darrick Forrest, who's been a healthy scratch through 2 weeks while Jeremy Chinn sucks it up on Sunday? Is it Tyler Owens? These guys are already on the active roster. What are we doing? What are we doing? Because I know it's still 2 weeks into the season and guys have time to gel and develop some rapport and chemistry. But what are we telling players when the guys ahead of them on the roster aren't doing their jobs and we're holding guys off the roster who could potentially do at minimum what the starter's doing? I think we need a little bit of clarity. What are we not being told about Darrick Forrest? Is it a Jahan Dotson situation where there's bad chemistry, bad body language? I wouldn't think that, because Darrick Forrest seems to be a leader. He seems to have amazing football character, and coming out of Cincinnati, y'all remember Gotcha? Every time he answered a question coming out of Cincinnati as one of the captains when he was a Bearcat in college. I see nothing culturally or football character related as to why Darrick Forrest is being held off the field. Is he injured? Remember, he only played in 5 games in 2023. And those 5 games he did play, his play regressed, but the entire team's play regressed. We were the worst defense in the league last year, and we got our whole staff canned because we were cheeks. But he only played in 5 games. He dealt with hamstring and some other injury issues, and he missed 12 games in 2023. Is he not healthy? Because if he's not healthy, I need someone to come up to the podium and say he's not healthy. I'm going to have to tell Lakers somebody, please ask what's going on with Darrick Forrest, because Jeremy Chinn, so far, it's very early. The jury is still out on him. But so far, Jeremy Chinn is not cutting it for me at strong safety. And as I look around on the defense, we desperately need some playmakers out there. Who is the guy that can swing a game for us? Every team's got 1 or 2 of those on their roster, and I'm looking for who that guy's going to be on the secondary for Washington. Benjamin St-Juste saved us. He bailed us out last week, and Peanut Tillman punched a fumble out on Devin Singletary that eventually ended up being the turning point of the football game. Turnovers do that. And when you have a rookie quarterback, it would be very advantageous to help them out by turning the ball over and flipping the field for your quarterback and your young offense sometimes. And I'm not sure who's going to be tasked with doing that. But Jeremy Chinn does not seem like he's that guy. He's not in the right places in coverage. He's timid to tackle on defense. And if your strong safety don't want to tackle, who's going to tackle on your defense? He's supposed to be one of those guys. Joe Witt, anybody, anywhere, anytime. The way we live is not for everybody. We're going to be violent, and we're going to throw our body around on Sundays. Jeremy Chinn does not seem like the epitome or the embodiment of any of those sentiments. So I think we are about one more Jeremy Chinn stinker from seeing some changes made at the safety position. They have not shown the hesitance to pull guys for play or for performance so far. We've seen Forbes get benched. We've seen guys get pulled. Michael Davis. We've seen guys get pulled and relegated to a lower role on Sundays. Jeremy Chinn's leash should be what? Let me know in the comments. At what point would you make a move at safety? Would you make it this week? We got the Cincinnati Bengals coming up. T. Higgins is probably going to play. And how many years as Washington fans have we said the words, where is the safety help? Where is the safety help? Where is the safety help? I'll tell you what, your safety does not help when he's missing tackles, when he's not where he's supposed to be on zone defense and does not accept the passing off of coverage from cornerback to safety, when the communication's bad, or when his eyes, hips, and instincts do not look right through 2 weeks. And yes, I get it. I'm going to say it one last time. We're 2 weeks into the season. There's a new system. There's a lot of moving pieces and new parts here in DC. But we just need explanation from a fan standpoint. What is keeping a guy like Tyler Owens off the field, and what is keeping Darrick Forrest off the active roster, if that is what we're trotting out there at safety through 2 weeks? Like I said, 5 total tackles and a fumble recovery, but the stats do not tell the full story. You're watching a non-confident football player. We're not watching the Jeremy Chinn of his first 2 seasons. Like I said, he's not the 4.46 prospect coming out with the 41-inch vertical that almost beat Chase Young for Rookie of the Year back in 2020. That player does not exist, and you can't play the hits when they're not capable of hitting the notes anymore. It is 2024, and that 1 year, $5 million contract, I don't care about it. If he's not the best guy on Sundays, let's figure out who the best guy is, and let's start rotating guys in. The main idea of the 2024 season is evaluation year. Let's see what we got. If what we have on the field is not good enough, let's see what's good behind them. And we need to know, why is Darrick Forrest a healthy scratch for the first 2 weeks of the season? Did he do something wrong? Is he not a scheme fit? Is he not a cultural fit? Dan Quinn is a pretty honest and transparent guy. I need somebody in the media to press him about Darrick Forrest, and I'm going to try to help get to the bottom of it. I got to talk to the people I know in the media, because somebody got to ask some questions, because we need some answers. But that's all I got for right now. Let me know what you think about the safety position in the comments. Who would you put there? Tyler Owens, Darrick Forrest up from the not active roster, Percy Butler. What would you do at the position, or do we need to give Jeremy Chinn about a half a season of evaluation before we get there? But that is all I got for right now. Hail to the Washington Commanders. If you're going to make some money this season, do it with my sponsor, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, home of the fastest payouts in the industry, and a match bonus of 150% on your first 3 deposits for up to $2,000. Use code YouTube150 for your BetUS Sportsbook and Casino match bonus. Until next time, y'all know the vibes. Commander Rio, out.